games this weekend. Dominique, first impression, Rams, Seahawks.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's Sam Darnold in another big game. Like, we keep wanting him to step up in these moments. He's gotten another opportunity. He's going to get a few more before this season, or excuse me, when this season gets into the postseason. But now, right now, he has another chance to get revenge against the poor, against the team that made him look as poor as anyone since the early days in his career.
Super Bowl route will go through the winner of this game, it would appear. Peter, Steelers-Lions this weekend. First impression.
All the pressure on the Lions, and guess who they have to beat? A familiar foe, if you will. Aaron Rodgers, coming off his best performance as a Steeler, going into Detroit with Detroit's playoff lives on the line. You know, Rodgers had some success in that building over many, many years as a Green Bay Packer.
Kmart, you'll have that game. Meanwhile, I want your first impression of Patriots and Ravens.
Greeny, I'm looking at Zach Orr and his defense. 48 hours after Ed Reed visited that team and spoke to the defense, they blanked Joe Burrow for the first time since college. But can the Ravens defense pitch a shutout against the Patriots and Travion Henderson? I don't know.
And then Jeff, first impression, Saturday night special. Packers, Bears in Chicago.
Bears physicality. No Micah Parsons. Everybody's wanting to know what this defense is going to look like without him. Go ground and pound. Ben Johnson has done a fantastic job with this run game. He's creative. They're physical up front, but that physicality leads to explosive plays for Caleb Williams. But they got to start in the trenches where they have excelled this season, fired up to watch them.
Okay, this is the NFL's oldest and fiercest rivalry, and they have played very few games that meant more than this one will. They played an NFC Championship game not that long ago, so I don't want to overstate it. But this is a monster game. Winner takes total control of the NFC North, it would seem, with what will then be 2 weeks remaining. Let me start over here. Kmart, first with you. We know Micah Parsons is down. How about Christian Watson for the Packers? That feels critical.
So this is a huge one. Christian Watson left the game in the third quarter, was taken to the hospital with a chest injury. He was able to travel home. That's the good news. They are going to try to get him to play. They're hoping that he'll be able to play. We still got to see how the week goes. But even think about Jordan Love's production since week 8. It's a big reason because of Christian Watson. So to not have him would be dire for this team.
So that feels like a big deal. Obviously, the loss of Micah Parsons is extraordinary. Peter, you talk to people there in Green Bay. What are they thinking now that they will have to go forward without him?
That defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley, has to be one of the most creative and most ready to pounce defensive coordinators in the league because Micah Parsons' loss is that big. What we're not talking enough about is what Micah Parsons was in the locker room and practice. Apparently, there was this perception that he wasn't one of these team leaders. He got there and totally changed the tempo and the tone in that defensive room. Now you're looking at guys like J.J. Enagbare, and you're looking at guys like Brenton Cox, players that would never in a million years be the ones you would think would have to decide an NFC North title. And yet in the final 3 weeks, it's going to have to be other players to step up when it matters most. Micah Parsons' loss cannot be overstated. One of the best players in football, maybe the biggest non-quarterback in the league.
Yeah, maybe the most significant injury that could be suffered that was not by a quarterback. We had that here yesterday. So that's the little picture of it all, right? That's what's going to be happening as far as the injuries to Green Bay, which are significant. Let's go big picture. Yep. What's the first thing you said to me, Louis, when I asked you about this game this morning?
Oh, look, the Bears have to pounce. This is their opportunity now to, go up a game and a half in the division?
Yes.
And to really kind of send Green Bay a message to say, hey, look, we understand that right now you're experiencing a lot of adversity. We don't feel bad for you. It's our time now. They need to go ahead now. And look, they were that close to beating them on their home turf. Yeah. If it weren't for a late Caleb Williams interception where maybe he let the ball go late, maybe it was an ill-advised throw, what have you. But I'll tell you what, the formula is pretty simple for this football team. And Jeff laid it out earlier. Pound the football up front, play action. Right now, Caleb Williams, 9th in the NFL in QBR off of play action. There's a reason why we constantly talk about on these shows the benefit of getting your quarterback under center and running play action. Caleb Williams is living proof of it. They need to execute that to a T this week, and I'm telling you, Chicago will be experiencing some joy they haven't experienced in a long time. A game and a half up in their division, I think they'd take it.
I want to take it over to the Packers side because I think this is an enormous game for them. It's even bigger for them than it is for the Bears. We want to find out, of course, how this defense plays without Micah Parsons. They were good last year without Micah Parsons. But more importantly, they're a Super Bowl caliber team. And it's not over for them. But they're not going to win the Super Bowl if they have to win 3 playoff games on the road. That's the thing. If they can win this game, it puts them in position to win the division and at least get the reprieve of starting the playoffs at home. You don't see it happen often. Guys go 3 on the road and get get it done. You can get it done if you get one home game. So I think that they are playing for their Super Bowl chances, especially with all the injuries. Being at home would save them one game.
Yeah, that's a great point. I look at this like Buffalo and New England last week.
Yeah.
Now, this is the same game, right? It's the young, upcoming football team against the perennial power, right? And it's you think about what Ben Johnson has done. He has basically built a Detroit offense in Chicago in less than a year. It's insane. Two-headed monster at running back, two really good tight ends making plays. DJ Moore, I know Adunze's been injured, but when he gets back, this is a scary offense when it gets going. And it all starts with physicality. And you think about the way they run it and the way their interior offensive line has been fantastic, but their left tackles played really well. Their right. You're watching them mature before your eyes. This is the moment. You go face the bully, do you punch him in the face? Like, that's literally what Ben Johnson is talking about all week. And we saw what happened in New England, and Josh Allen makes this miracle comeback and all that. Can the Bears close them out? Because to Nick's point, all the pressure's on Green Bay. I mean, Chicago's playing with house money, man. Like, nobody expected this, and I know I'm fired up to watch it.
I know that that's the perception, and I think that is the way a lot of people feel, and rightfully so. You're not wrong. They're well ahead of schedule. But if I were to deliver a message, Lord knows they could get better messages than they can get from me. But if I were, I would say, how many times have we seen teams that we said, oh, my goodness, they're so far ahead of schedule. Yeah. They're going to be like Detroit 2 years ago. Yeah. Oh, they'll be back a million times. You've got to take this opportunity when it's there. Yeah. That's why I liked what you said. You've got to pounce, because for the Bears, does it seem like, oh, sure, Caleb ascending and all these young players and they get better, and Ben Johnson in his second year and his third year, will they be back? Of course they will. And you know what? Strange things happen.
To Washington.
People get hurt.
Look at Washington.
Commanders a year ago. Another perfect example. This is their moment, and I think they have to get it done Saturday.
I actually think the Bears are like Buffalo. From the standpoint of, for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, the path has been cleared. Are you going to take advantage of it? I think when we've seen with the NFC, the Bears, though they may be ahead of schedule, can they take advantage of Micah being out and Dallas being down, and the Eagles, we're not sure what's going on with them. This is a moment because you are not guaranteed to get back here. So all the pieces that you have, it's great. But we always see roster turnover, coaches turnover. So, like Greeny's saying, you're not guaranteed.
I don't, you know what? And I don't think players ever look at it as, hey, you're ahead of schedule. Hey, dog, we don't really need to win this game. You know what I mean? We can come back next year. No, the Bears are sitting there going, what are y'all talking about? We're ahead of schedule. I think right now, they believe that they are right where they expected to be. I think players think that way. Yeah. Here's another interesting fact about this football game is, look, the Bears really have feasted off a turnover margin, turnover differential this year. That's the one thing, I don't know. I mean, in your experience, like for me, turnover differential really kind of goes in waves and in spurts. Can you count on it all the time? Well, they've counted on it this year. It has really paid dividends for them. For Jordan Love, that's the one thing that he cannot afford to lose in this game. He cannot be the reason why the Bears are able to pounce and maybe put them away this year.
As I look at these standings, the winner of this game will be in great shape to be the 2 seed in the conference, and the loser will be fighting for their playoff life. Will be fighting just to get in, because all those teams in the West are going to make it.
Absolutely. And I think, Ryan Poles, the general manager of the Chicago Bears, this was a very deliberate thing in the offseason where he's like, I'm going to bring veterans in each position group. And the Washington Commanders did it last year when they got Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz. For these guys, it's Joe Thuney, it's Case Keenum, it's Kevin Byard. These are players who have been there and done that, where the moment won't be too big. But a home game at Soldier Field in mid-December for the division? Are you kidding? I think the Bears fans will sign up for that.
A team like this, they don't know how good they are, and that's the beauty of this. Is I think about the New England Patriots. You brought that up also. Is they don't know that they're championship worthy or not. All of us on the outside are like, you're a year early, maybe not. They don't know, and they believe that they're finding out every week. I think that missed opportunity against the Bears last time, like that was a wake-up call for them, and it reminded them, and I think it woke me up at least to say, I thought the Bears was like, cute little story. Then you watch them beat the Eagles. Then you watch them contend with the Packers. Then you look at the field and you're like, man, and you have a quarterback who's able to do amazing things. You're like, hey, you guys are in good shape. I know the defense isn't perfect, but you're in good shape, and they turn the ball over.
I think when I think about Jordan Love, like how big this moment is, look, he just had a great opportunity in Denver, right? And he got outplayed by Bo Nix. Like, you can card it however you want. Bo Nix lit it up, man. And not like check down, like push the ball down the field, go make explosive plays. Jordan Love, turn the ball. This is why you pay franchise money to quarterbacks. These games, right? Whenever everybody else is hurt, I step up, I elevate other people's games. It's a big moment for Jordan
The
Love.
cool thing about this, though, and we've talked about this numerous different times, especially when we're talking about the Eagles, in their lack of identity, the Bears know exactly who they are.
For sure.
And they do not deviate.
Yep.
It is about establishing the line of scrimmage. It is about putting that quarterback under center, run and play action. And on defense, you can best believe the defensive coaches are emphasizing, we got to turn this rock over.
Absolutely.
We have got to hunt the football,
Hunt,
and they hunt
strip,
it as
tip,
well as
all of it.
anybody.
Yep.
And that's the thing I think that's going to carry them as far as they're going to go.
As we go this morning, we'll talk about the quarterback on one side, Jordan Love, and the quarterback on the other side,